Distinguished guests, ladies and gentlemen, as the Executive Director and Ambassador for Youth for Human Rights Australia, Victorian Chapter, along with our dedicated volunteers present this evening, we are deeply honoured to be part of this significant event, launching Bashir Fayyaq's book, Hezare Prodigies, to the world stage. Not only this, we are also thrilled that Youth for Human Rights and United for Human Rights Australia are official partners with the Hezare community. Thank you. To explain a little bit about our organisations, Youth for Human Rights International and United for Human Rights International are both worldwide, secular-based, not-for-profit, volunteer organisations. The purpose of YHRI and UHRI is to teach youth about human rights, specifically the United Nations Universal Declaration of Human Rights, and, through education, inspire them to become advocates for tolerance and peace. Our charter is to achieve that aim in simple yet empowering, high-quality human rights education materials for youth, teachers, officials, government, anyone. YHRI and UHRI, recognised by the United Nations and sponsored by the Church of Scientology, has now grown into a global movement, including hundreds of groups, clubs and chapters around the world. It sponsors activities and provides materials for individuals and groups and government agencies in more than 92 countries. The program, being totally secular and non-political, embraces all religions, cultures and peoples from all walks of life. As human rights belong to all peoples, then the program is for all of us as mankind. These activities include petition drives, concerts, youth summits, events and seminars. The materials include booklets, public service announcements as a short film depicting each of the 30 articles of human rights of the Universal Declaration of Human Rights, an information kit, an educator's kit, as well as the Story of Human Rights DVD. All are free of charge. We have seen that our human rights education materials uplift the spirit, creating understanding where previously there was hatred, violence, bullying and discrimination. Therefore, one of our primary goals is to get our human rights education program into the school curriculum Australia-wide, so that our youth, on upwards, would be able to learn this priceless information from when they are still vulnerable to negative social media or hate rhetoric, etc. So part of this strategy is to get signatures, thousands of them, in the form of our petitions to the Victorian Government and beyond to implement such a desperately needed solution. I strongly believe in the power of storytelling. Hence, this vital book that Bashir has lovingly and painstakingly written is actually a recorded documentation of the lives and stories reflected through the eyes of those individuals of the Hezare community that show bravery, perseverance and success despite hardship, persecution, genocide and suffering that your community has undergone, whether it be in Afghanistan or in the Hezare diaspora worldwide. This book in turn is important testimony for our future generations to come to know these life stories of those individuals and actual events recorded in the book. Also, those deny or change aspects of Hazara's true and factual history for heinous purposes or try to say it was propaganda and lies are stopped in their tracks with these moving and inspiring stories. From the moment I met the beautiful Hazara community, I have felt your warmth, generosity and strength of spirit. The women are all beautiful and strong, as well as the men who are quietly proud, respectful and elegant. There was for me and my colleagues a sense of belonging and feeling part of a family. I want to thank the amazing Hazara community for extending sincere hand of friendship to our human rights advocacy and education work. We will continue to stand with you, shoulder to shoulder, to help bring about what we all desire: peace, human rights application here in Australia, and one day, in your home country as well as around the world. I believe that part of this journey towards human rights becoming a reality is that we must celebrate our similarities, not differences. Peace and human rights are interdependent upon each other. To bring about the understanding and application of human rights by every person worldwide, it is a truly daunting task, with all of us wondering whether we will ever see this occur in our lifetime. This, in turn, would then help to foster and bring about peace. I truly believe that you, the Hazara people, hold the key to not only your own communities around the world, but can be leaders for other marginalised refugees and immigrants tackling human rights violations. By all of us working together, educating ourselves, young and old alike, on human rights and applying them daily in everyday life, we will get a step closer and closer to our mutual aims. Bashir, we wish you the very best of success for your amazing new book. I truly believe that Hazara Prodigies will give more people an understanding of the often difficult as well as triumphant roads the Hazara community have travelled, including their incredible contributions to society. Both myself and my volunteers will continue to travel with you and your resilient and inspiring Hazara community towards a world that has more compassion, kindness, peace, and making human rights a reality. Thank you.
Thank you, Ms. Sachs, for championing human rights and for your inspiring words of support. We truly appreciate it. It is now my great honor to introduce our next guest speaker, Councillor Lana Formisu, Councillor for the Greater City of Dandenong and member of the Board of Directors for Victorian Local Governance Association. Please welcome Councillor Lana Formisu to the stage.
And Assalamu alaikum. I would like to begin, excuse me for being so late, I was just at another event, so my apologies. Firstly, I'd like to begin by acknowledging the traditional custodians of this land, the Bunurong people, and pay my respect to their elders past and present. I recognise and respect their continuing connection to climate, culture, country and waters. I also recognise all of the distinguished guests here today, especially the author and my very good friend, Mr. Bashir Fayyad, for writing this incredibly important book. On Councillor Solana Formosa for the City of Greater Dandenong, and I cover Noble Park in North Ward, which is just near the Waverley Gardens Shopping Centre and near the cemetery, so that's my ward there. And I've been fortunate enough to be re-elected this time round. So today it's my great pleasure, and I warmly welcome all of the distinguished guests, and if there's anyone that is from council that I haven't seen yet. No, good, but warm welcome to you all. It's my great pleasure to be here today as a guest speaker to celebrate the launch of Hezare Prodigies and the 25 years of Hezare contributions to our community. In the City of Greater Dandenong, our multicultural community is the centre of who we are and not what we do. We are the most culturally diverse community in all of Australia, with 154 different languages. People come from 154 countries. We speak over 160 languages, and we practice over 80 different faiths. Almost 2/3 of our residents are born overseas. It is estimated that we have over 4,000 Hazaras living in our municipality and over 15,000 between the City of Greater Dandenong and the City of Casey. And I know that number is growing tremendously. Our Hezare community really began to grow in the very late 90s and early 2000s. I remember it like it was yesterday. We were so proud to welcome people who had shown incredible resilience and tenacity. So many of those early arrivals came by boat, with long periods in immigration detention centres after having had terrible experiences. A lot of you are in this room today, and a lot of my friends have had some horrendous stories to tell. This is why I feel it is so special to be here with you today to learn and delve into the migrant experience and cultural identity of the Hezare community. Another reason for the importance of this incredible book. Over time, we saw this community flourish, with family groups in the community really taking off. As the book says, this Hezare community brought their resilience and hard work to the many industries they worked in, including horticulture, abattoirs, tiling and construction, and many entrepreneurial endeavours. Australia has been enriched by their contributions, and our very own Dandenong in particular. We are so proud to be part of your story. I'm also a local high school teacher at Dandenong High School. I went to that school. I now teach at that school, and I know a lot of your children are taught by me at that school. So it's really humbling and incredibly important for us to really appreciate our Afghan heritage here in Greater Dandenong in particular. I know my students is about 80% that are of Afghan background. So, and are there any of my students here tonight? A big shout out to you. We are also really incredibly proud of our commitment to welcoming refugees and migrants into our community. My parents migrated into this country for all the reasons your families have, to find a better and fairer life for our families. And I've come here this evening with my eldest son, Luca, who's just battled 3 years of leukemia treatment and is now in remission. And here in Australia, we're very lucky because we have these incredible facilities like the Monash Children's Hospital, like the education system that we have here in Australia that welcomes all, that gives equity to women, children. So my family migrated to this country for the same reason you all have. Here in Australia, we uphold human rights, demonstrate compassion and enhance cultural and religious diversity for our people. I'm incredibly proud to be a representative of this community, the most multicultural community in all of Australia. For over 22 years, the City of Greater Dandenong has been a refugee welcome zone, a local government area that is committed to welcoming refugees into the community, demonstrating a compassion and enhancing cultural and religious diversity. In 2018, the City of Greater Dandenong Council initiated the local government mayoral task force supporting people seeking asylum. I was extremely fortunate to chair that task force this year when I was mayor, and we made incredible progress, but there's still so much work to be done. Today, the task force has 43 member councils across Australia and continues to advocate for fairness and safety for community members seeking protection. We are proud to recognise the vibrancy and rich culture of Hazaras and our larger Afghani community. This can definitely be seen physically in our Afghan Hazara cultural precinct, which will be expanding more once we have the new investment coming into Dandenong. The precinct itself has an intense concentration of Afghan traders and was created from the ideas and aspirations of our community. It is my hope that the Council and that everyone living, working or visiting Greater Dandenong can express their cultural identity. We are constantly working towards our community's vision that the City of Greater Dandenong is a home for all. By sharing our cultures and traditions, we create connections. These connections help us to find common ground and to better understand each other. We are creating a harmonious society where we can all live together peacefully. That's my wish for each and every one of you. Today, once again, I want to congratulate my very good friend, author of this book, Mr. Bashir Fayak, for this book, Hazara Prodigies. May it bring you all the success it deserves. On behalf of the City of Greater Dandenong Council and the wider Greater Dandenong community, I proudly join you all to celebrate 25 years of Hazara contributions to our community. Tashakur.
Inspiring words and wavering support for multiculturalism. Your leadership in the City of Greater Dandenong and your recognition of Hazara Prodigies as a celebration of our culture heritage means a great deal to us. We genuinely appreciate commitment to strengthening our community. Thanks everyone for being with us up to this point. We are now pleased to welcome Ms. Jess Fairley on the stage.
Thank you, Bashir Bhai, for your outstanding contribution to this multicultural Australia. I'm privileged to have worked alongside with you as a member of the Australian Multicultural Council for over some time. I also cherish the friendship I have developed within your community, including remarkable individuals and their families like Obi Nakabullah, Halida Huzaini, and many others who inspire me with their dedication and resilience. The Hazara community in Australia have faced unique mental health challenges, deeply influenced by traumatic pre-migration experiences and post-migration adoption difficulties. Issues such as PTSD, identity struggles, racism, language barriers, financial stress, and uncertainty of asylum seeking posed significant hurdles. For someone like me, who came to Australia as a skilled migrant in 1987, it is unimaginable to fully grasp the extent of these hardships, what you guys have faced. Last year, I accompanied Honourable Michael Shuka to Mizoram to assist the Chin community of Burma with their refugee visa process. During this visit, I witnessed firsthand the plight of refugees and the harsh realities of their lives in camps. It was a heart-wrenching experience that left a lasting impact on me and took days to emotionally process. Despite of the immense challenges, the Hazara community has demonstrated extraordinary resilience. This resilience shines through various ways. Strong community networks that provide support and solidarity. Commitment to education, achieving academic excellence, and encouraging higher education within the community. Youth empowerment, nurturing next generation to lead with the confidence and strength, leadership and advocacy, actively working to ensure the voices of the Hezare people unheard, economic participation, contributing significantly to Australia's economy through businesses, skills rates and professional expertise. The mental health awareness and education, striving to break stigma and ensure well-being. As a Mental Health Foundation Australia is the oldest community-based mental health organisation, and we work with more than 120 community groups throughout Australia. Every year in October, we manage to celebrate mental health awareness and education throughout Australia during Mental Health Month. Every year, we acknowledge the contributions of the people who support mental health awareness and education. This year, the recipient of Australian National Multicultural Advocate of the Year recipient is here with us. I would like to acknowledge former councillor. Can I ask you to stand up, Richard Lip, wherever you are? Sorry. The Hezare community's journey in Australia is a testament of perseverance and achievement despite adversity through the systemic improvements like language access and culturally competent mental health services. Your community has not only overcome obstacles but has also made meaningful contribution to our society and especially in Australia. The Hezare community has enriched Australia in countless ways. Cultural enrichment, sharing tradition that enhance our multicultural fabric, community support, building networks that assist migrants with housing, language acquisition and employment integration. Economic impact, fostering growth through entrepreneurship and professional excellence. As the CEO of the oldest mental health organisation in Australia, I remain committed to supporting your community in strengthening mental health education and providing well-being. Together, we can ensure that the Hezare community continues to thrive and inspire all Australians. On that note, I had an opportunity to work with Bashir Bhai during various meetings in Canberra, and your extraordinary care and your support to all our multicultural council members throughout Australia, and you are remarkable. You are a great soul. I bless you on behalf of God. Make you do well in your future. Thank you.
Mr. Srinivasan, and for highlighting the profound connection between cultural identity and well-being. Human beings are members of a whole, in creation of one essence and soul. If one